And that just fostered and their inability of their investigation and this gone.
All right, let's go ahead and get the Drainage Committee meeting started. It's 4:30. Let the record reflect that all members are present besides Mr. Carter. Item number 1, request approval to sweep the outfall on north side of Rudy Boville, Ward 1. LeBlanc.
Yes, sir. That's the outfall that's on the north side of the residence. It hadn't been swept in many years. It's a viable project to get the water removed for drainage and off the sewer treatment plants behind the residence.
All right, we have a total cost of $1,000.
Motion now.
Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Blanchard. All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Item number 2, request to approval to sweep the outfall at F. Dagg Street, Ward 1.
This is the main outfall canal that drains all the residents on Dagg Street, takes the water on Highway 7, and you can see the picture. It's got some grass and some spall that needs to be taken out of the ditch. Viable project.
The state highway.
No, sir, it runs into, under the state highway, but that's the parish right away right there.
Total cost of $600. Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Blanchard. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Discuss the collapsed culvert and catch basin at 248 Redwood Street, Ward 2.
That's correct. There's after the catch basin itself is in good shape, we were hoping on the back end, it's rotting out 24-inch culvert that needs to be replaced. That's all the water that drains on the north side of Redwood Street.
That was a steel culvert in place?
Yes, sir. That was the galvanized culvert. It's rotted out.
Right now. Total cost of $2,215. Motion by
Gotta be done.
Mr. Blanchard, second by Mr. Patterson. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, request of approval to build a catch basin at 125 Pond Street.
Yes, sir. That's Mr. Rose. He's discussed that. It's the issue with the erosion issue. The man's having, he put these bricks in there to stop the erosion.
But that's more of a beautification than,
It's a 3-way. They actually have a culvert that goes under coming from the yard. So it's a 3-way, but you can, I guess you can label it as beautification, but it's, that's why y'all can make a decision on it.
I'll make a move. Motion by Mr. Bro,
that's
second by Mr. Blanchard. All in favor? Any opposed?
Beautification.
Motion carries. Item number 5,
When we do beautification.
request of approval to the DOTD to change out the culvert at 3555 Highway 1, Ward 4.
Yes, well, I put in a request, I believe, a few times. right?
Yes, sir.
Let's make a request in Baton Rouge,
Okay.
give them my number to call me when they come. Cause they're not doing anything. And I would like the parish to even open it, and I'll mention that a few times.
We, yes, sir. And we went to investigate on the backs, on the highway, on the opposite side, not the by side, but that side. If you want me to open,
Yeah.
I want to give with you on that. It's actually it's not a culvert that's crossing under the roadway. It's a drop. So for us to open it, we'd have to build a catch basin there because
We have
if
to do
it's a straight down shot where it goes almost
I'm
8
getting
foot.
water almost from my house, and I'm full.
Yes, sir. So it would, if the state would change it, it would change it to a different type of,
But you keep filling in the doggone blacktop and you're messing it up more. That's how stupid it is. Changing, and this has been going on for 6 years. This when it was recorded to that.
Yes.
Paul, you gonna contact the state?
I'll contact the state. I don't know if you, you want to make an official request to the
Definitely.
jury too with the letter with Ms. Kim, but, yeah,
I
we
wanna
sent a
know when
letter.
they come.
I've made a couple of, requests to the Boardman Department. He's trying to go to Baton Rouge.
A motion to send a letter to the state requesting a culvert change out. Anyone? Motion by Mr. Blanchard,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Uh,
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, request of approval to sweep the outflow on the backside of Yule Street, Ward
Yes.
6.
This is another project that would, actually, we need to come in and build a ditch. So it would alleviate the issues with the water all goes through one ditch going to the back of Yule Street to the train tracks. This would create a secondary path for the water to go to the back. So it would alleviate the issues with the water on the back of Yule Street.
I make a motion, this water, when you get heavy rain, we're looking at about 2.5 foot of water that sits, and expecting about 15 to 20 residents. Second that motion.
Just make sure that they, clean the side of the gravel road as well. That would
I'll
help.
take
too.
care of all that.
Both sides of the wood lawn. All right, motion, then we got a total cost of $1,000. Motion by Mr. Carter. Second by Mr. Mathern, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, request of approval for culvert replacement at 149 Bell Point Lane, Ward 6.
Yes, sir. 40-foot replacement. There's a hole in the culvert. You can see from the picture, the culvert need to be replaced for the water to drain properly on the street.
Total cost of $950. Motion by Mr. Carter. Second by Mr. Mathern, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, request of approval for culvert replacement on the outfall of 5734 Highway 1, Ward 6.
Yes, correct. That's concrete jaws. They go into the bayou they're collapsed and it's continually having a sinkhole right here. So we might not need 80 feet. We couldn't quite see how far we need to go, but we wasn't gonna do it till we got the calls in place. So we might just need 60 feet. But I put in 80 as a contingency in case we needed it. So the price might not meet, it might not come to that total price.
Motion.
Total cost is $6,510. Motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, request of approval of overage on project 93-16-3-114 Phillips Street, Ward 8.
Yes, sir. That's to go another additional 60 feet under the driveway to match up to the new culverts that are in the neighbor's driveway.
Motion.
Total cost of $4,120. Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Carter, all in favor?
2004.
2000. I'm sorry. 400.
Don't spend all your money.
$2,420. Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, request of approval for culvert replacement at 182 Bayou Tranquil.
Yes, sir. That's a 60-foot of culvert that's rotting under the concrete on Bayou Tranquil needs to be changed out.
Motion.
Total cost of $4,120. Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Carter, all in favor? Any opposed?
Oh, quick question. When people call a bond and we ask what culverts are put down, we all requesting or recommending all plastic, huh?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, if it's on a state right away, they go to for a permit from the state tells them, and it's all plastic. And the same thing when they call us, we recommend plastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people do too much steel.
That, some of these steel culverts, that's from 20 and 30 years ago.
We
Jeff.
don't have this one.
Yeah.
Old stuff.
Do you see it taking place anymore then?
No, I just want to make sure. I mean, yeah, 'cause we'll never stop.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Carter. Meeting adjourned.
440 Finance Committee meeting. Let the record reflect all members are present. Request approval to pay list of bills submitted through April 19th, 2024.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Review budget comparison statements for major funds for March 2024 that are included in your packet.
They are included in your packet. We're not recommending any plan of action at this time.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval for the president to sign contract with DOTD for state project public transportation operating assistance program.
This is for the Council on Aging. It's a routine annual contract, so I do recommend.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval for annual CPI rate adjustment of 6.05% with Waste Depot.
If, who,
Who
is it the
requested it?
well, I know who requested it, but who did? All we know is, it's a 6.5, is that, if that's what it is?
Basically, he provided the information.
You probably go far, right? You don't get no raise.
The index value from February 2023 compared to the index value from February 2024 is what he presented. And the difference between those is 6.05
So move.
Not part of the contract, we pay CPI indexes for both garbage hauls
annually.
annually.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval to purchase cameras for the DMV office.
Ms. Christine requested, coming from the state side, they'd like to put cameras in the DMV office in the back and on the front, section of the walkway where they enter, safety reasons. So I give each of you guys a copy of, the quote that I got from ATSI, and the cost of $3,095.
Issues over
Yeah, she said they had a couple issues and they wanted to put some cameras in. It was coming from the DMV office in Baton Rouge. She didn't get anything specific about it, but she just said they would like to put cameras in there, safety purposes.
there? Yeah. I'm making a motion on that.
What is it? Well,
If it's on the building, we can do it.
to do the motion to do the 1% building, out of the 1% building.
Motion approved by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Request approval to purchase dual facing cameras for parish vehicles.
Yes, I'll put this on the agenda, and, I think it would take the guessing game of who driving the truck with the annual or daily reports that they should be filling out with the mileage and so forth. It would take the guessing game of who's not, or who is driving the truck instead of who could have damaged the truck and so forth. And plus, it could give us a huge savings on the insurance, along with, maybe some insurance claims that we could be facing coming forward with, God forbid, one of them get in an accident and so forth.
You got a price tonight, Jim?
And you could rent them. I would suggest renting the cameras. That way, whenever you come up for an update, they automatically update the cameras.
You got a price?
They're like 30 some with dollars a camera. That's what I'm paying for.
A month?
A month.
How many vehicles we got?
Justin, do you recall how many were, with the
How many
GPS systems?
I don't
remember how
much it was.
No, no, how many vehicles roughly?
30, maybe?
Yeah, it was close to 30.
You count
Total.
all- Yeah, total.
If you putting it in, dump trucks
all that.
and,
Yeah, it's like that.
Close to 30 vehicles.
That's all.
Just one incident, it could pay for itself in years.
Can we get a cost and then bring it back on the next agenda with the cost?
Jamie, would you,
I could check through my email, but. I
would you
mean-
consider, giving the parish manager an opportunity, to execute, the documents that need to be signed on a daily basis by his employees? We'll see how that works before we move forward. You want to give them a chance or what?
Eliminate them having to, fill out the daily report. They still do their checklist, But as far as each driver getting in and doing a checklist, I mean, I think it would say it would pay for itself. Well, it's completely up to you.
Let's get a call. Let's also see how much discount it would give us on the insurance. And let's have it ready for the next meeting.
I also have a question regarding the GPS units that we're putting in the vehicles. Is there any monitoring on that? Because if we're putting them in, but no monitoring,
I look at my mosquito truck.
you look at your mosquitoes.
I've looked at them and see what because it'll give us indications on whether the vehicle needs check engine lights, it's got issues. It also tells you that speed rates and different things. We looked at them, but not consistently, but occasionally when we think there may be an issue.
These systems are set up where it'll alert you for low oil pressure, high temperature, speeding.
Would you just give us a price on that?
Is there a way to integrate the two systems? They have the camera system and the GPS system on the same.
So you can fit together.
No doubt it'll be a good investment. We just don't know how much it is, so.
Bring us some amounts so we know how much we're approving.
Yeah, I don't prove that in a blind.
So who's gonna follow up on that?
Justin will know the prices and the cameras.
I
The
can get the
previous.
prices,
Okay,
once we get them, I mean, it's
we
on
follow
them.
up for the next meeting for us?
Yeah, just gotta figure out who's gonna install them, because we had some trial ones and that was this year, they never got installed. So we sent them to this way.
No action?
Going to the next meeting.
Don't sleep on it, Justin. Just get prices for us for the next meeting.
Hey, but let's put it on the next agenda, please. Discuss jail nurse position and presentation from Correct Health, Mr. John Ritter.
Mr. Ritter? You all have received some communication and we've been emailing back and forth about this situation. So Correct Health is a company that actually provides medical and health care to detention facilities. Mr. John Ritter is a representative here from Correct Health to just talk to us about his proposal and entertain any questions that you all may have.
Yes. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Sorry for the noise. Thank you so much.
I think we also have the sheriff here as well. So if y'all have any questions on the sheriff, he's here.
So my name is John Ritter. I represent Correct Health. We're a correctional healthcare company. Thank you for allowing us to speak this afternoon. A little bit about our company. We've been in business for almost 25 years. We're founded by a physician named Dr. Carlo Musso that grew up right down the street in Franklin, Louisiana, went to LSU Medical School, somehow ended up in Georgia. I spent most of my adult life running the roads in Baton Rouge and down in Donaldsonville and Napoleonville in my younger first part of my career. But we've been in the correctional health business in Louisiana for about 19 years now, right after Hurricane Katrina. And our mission is to provide high quality, comprehensive correctional health care inside the walls of correctional facilities. Our area of presence in the local market, we provide services to about 9 facilities in the state of Louisiana. Currently, the most close to here are Lafourche, St. James, and Iberia Parish that border Assumption. I could read a whole bunch of statistics, but I'll let you read the you know, Dr. Musso got into the business because he was an ER physician and he kept seeing inmates in his ER that didn't need to be there. So he sought out to find a solution for that and developed, you know, and started Correct Health to address that problem by bringing the resources to the facility, keeping the inmates in the facility and providing as much service in the facility as possible. We model our standard operating procedures after the accreditation standards by the National Commission on Correctional Healthcare. We received the first mental health accreditation by the National Commission on Correctional Healthcare in the country back in 2019 in one of our Georgia jails, by providing cutting-edge mental health services and programs in those facilities and meeting all those particular standards. You know, currently, you have a nurse and a local physician that provides service to your jail. And if that works, we prefer that. And what I mean by that is Dr. Musso being a local doctor, you know, if it's working, it's working. We typically don't mess with that. But we provide structured programs to jails and prisons that work, that are proven. We have quite a bit of experience doing that over the years. One of our key transitional periods about 8 years ago, instead of having doctors on call at night, we have doctors or higher level of care nurse practitioners or physician's assistants on duty. So like in a 911 center, instead of calling a provider in the middle of the night, which oftentimes a facility like yours that doesn't have around the clock medical care would need to interact with those providers at night. And to get an on-duty person that can access that patient immediately via telemedicine, we can resolve 95% of the problems. Doesn't always mean that that patient is not going to have to go to the hospital, but we've been very good at reducing the number of send-outs after hours and on the weekends by utilizing those on-duty providers at night and having that access to healthcare 24/7. Another example of that is currently you may have a physician that, or a doctor or a higher level of care provider other than your nurse that comes once a week or once every 2 weeks to the facility or a couple times a week. We have a system in place with the use of telemedicine that allows that inmate to have access to care all the time. So if the doctor came on Thursday and you have an inmate that comes in with a questionable issue on Friday, he doesn't have to wait till that next Thursday. Let's say his upper respiratory infection. By that next Thursday, he's going to be in the hospital if it's really bad. But you know, we can see those patients and get them on antibiotics and treat them and continue to check on those patients every day or later on that day and so forth, and not have to wait for that next healthcare visit. And even putting this practice into place before COVID, we didn't know COVID was coming. It was very effective throughout the COVID times and so forth.
Kim, in this program, you think it's gonna save us money?
It's hard to say for sure. The hope is that it would, and based on the other things that it could save, he continues to talk about the care within the facility. We pay the sheriff's office for out of parish trips, for mileage and things like that. So if they don't have to do that, then it's an indirect savings. We're hoping we can capture a lot, but again, there's no guarantee. But the problem we're having is we can't find a nurse. Our
Right.
nurse is going to retire, so we're limited on our options.
Can we do a 6-month trial base or a year trial base on this?
Well, we would do a contract, and I mean, we would have the opportunity to end the contract at any time, I would think.
Right. 60, 90 days out, 30 days.
Right.
They're all different.
Who currently paying, I don't remember, the nurse, what's the nurse?
The nurse currently gets paid $102,000.
Should be,
Not
then
to
the
exceed.
that's Dr. Landry, is that
The physician gets paid $60,000.
60,000?
And then that's not all the road trips with that.
No, in the last email that I sent to you all, just the providers, including the jail physician and the nurse, we were at $299,000 for
Right.
2023. That's not counting the indirect cost that we're talking about with the sheriff that he's incurring and whatnot.
And just so you know how we got where we're at, I know, Mr. Mathern Mr. Alcorn, Mr. Narcan, Mr. Carter, and Mr. Calabro was involved in this 8 years ago. The medical is provided by the parish government. You always had the contract there. We had Franny there, and to move Franny away from our retirement home would have negatively impacted her retirement home. So having a good employee, we kept her there and we came up with the arrangement that we did. That was in 16, 17. Franny's retiring in December. We had Dr. Landry talk to different nurses. I've talked to some. And getting someone in there, but you have to remember, Franny's a unique person, okay? She's on call 24/7. She's who we call. So find a nurse that wants to come work in a jail facility and be on call 24/7, 365. You also have to look at hiring a part-time nurse. Because a part-time nurse, Franny gets vacation, she gets leave. Somebody has to replace her because you're required to have that care. And speaking to another bunch of other sheriffs, one name kept coming up and that was Correct Health. So I put John in touch with Ms. Torres to make this presentation to you. I don't know about the numbers, that's for Ms. Torres to figure out. But just to tell you how we got where we're at, and I know some of you remember, but most of you knew it wasn't involved in that.
I mean, obviously, the medical is just like anything else. It fluctuates. And the more you have medical care, the more
Yeah.
your expenses are. We don't know what each year is gonna hold. But there's a lot that they offer that we are paying as is. So
Within
I
this-
think we
within
can
this
even.
number, within this number.
Yes, that
That's
we'll
a
be
win.
able to offer more services
Yeah.
and keep them here in the facility, freeing up the sheriff's office, hopefully saving us a few dollars on this thing. Covering the vacations, covering everything, the rotations that he's speaking of.
Do we take this up tonight or we talking about?
No, Mr. Ritter said that, Franny's gonna retire December, I think.
It's in December. Now I gotta see, she has time on the books. Is she gonna leave
Right.
earlier than
He,
that?
you know, he
or-
did say if we would
Oh,
initiate a contract with him, he would need some time to get in there to learn their processes, but he said not 6 months or anything like that.
About
you know.
3 months, 2 months?
The,
1 month?
the longer the better would be great to help us get ramped up and make sure we have everything in place. And, here again, we have a lot of resources down the street in Fouche. We
St.
have
James.
a similar, operation in St. James. It's a little bit different. And then, we're in Iberia Parish as well too, plus Jefferson and, we do have resources and abilities to get cranked up in a short order fashion, but we want to make sure that we're ready to go and, we bring that, whoever we hire for that particular position in to train with the current nurse and the jail staff so that they can learn their system and how things work. So it's as seamless as
And you
possible.
want to start to January? If she retire, she could retire early, she would go
No,
Well,
early.
he needs to
she
come in
retires
before
in
she's out.
December, and I can
Right.
find out from her, say if she's got 30 days of leave, she wants to take that, push it
Yeah.
in November.
Yeah.
Right.
So
He might need
if
to get
it's in
October.
November that she's actually gonna be starting to take leave and all, then you probably wanna start the beginning of October.
Yeah, let us know.
And give her, and give them that 30, 45 days leave.
So one question I have for you, the aggregate cap.
Send
Can
all
you
that
explain a
to us
little
in
bit
an
about
email, April
what-
12th.
So
Jamie.
the aggregate cap is a pool of money. And typically if we were to go into this blind, I would have to estimate what certain things are gonna cost. And I'm gonna estimate them, I'm not gonna know, but I certainly don't wanna lose money in this situation. So to keep the contract price down, we utilize an aggregate cap, or it's a cost pool. So certain things that we're uncertain of, because we're not operating in the facility, like how much do medications cost, are applied to that $20,000 aggregate cap. So that $20,000 pool of money, as we get bills for certain things, will be applied to that $20,000. Now, if we stay under that $20,000 and it's balanced out each month, so you divide that $20,000 by 12, and it's a credit and debit situation each month. If we get to the end of the year and there's a credit, we refund that to the you all. In the past, we didn't do that. We would keep the extra cost pool monies as like an incentive to do good, but that was a long time
I'm
ago.
pretty sure I know the answer to this, like your list of correct health responsibilities, everything that has an asterisk that's subject to the aggregate cap. That's only one $20,000 cap, right? Not for each category.
That's correct. Yes. And, you know, some other things the sheriff talked about is that, you know, we have professional liability insurance, so, you know, that might save the sheriff and you all some money on some professional liability insurance as well. We buy pharmaceuticals from a wholesale national correctional pharmacy. So those drug prices and pharmaceutical prices are gonna be a lot cheaper than if you're paying retail at, let's say, a local or regional pharmacy as well.
What about general medical supplies?
Those are covered in the proposal.
In the proposal as well.
So, medical equipment up to $500, you know, most medical equipment is a lot more than $500, but, there's not much that's needed. You know, an EKG machine is probably the biggest expense, medical equipment wise, that the parish would have to endure.
So this is for all employees based at.
Not employees.
Inmates.
Employees.
Yeah, in a sense.
Yes, sir.
So, Sheriff, I just got a question with, I forgot, I don't remember. State employees versus parish employees.
Inmates.
Inmates.
Why did I know it in my mind? Wow, inmates, I don't know if it's in a lot. Do you get reimbursed for, state?
Actually, the state covers the cost, and I think Ms. Torres probably leading choking Franny, covers the cost of the state inmates through, it's a medical program that they're under, kind of like Medicare, but, and I
We
don't want to misspeak and.
Right, I don't know
misguide
exactly,
you.
I don't know exactly what system she files, but we don't pay those bills. Those bills get kicked back. I guess what you're asking is,
Yeah.
That's-
would these services be utilized for the state inmates?
They would be if they, like an intake, anytime an inmate comes in, they go through a medical checklist. So yes, they would be used for that.
So we would be, if we go into him, we will be reimbursed those dollars.
Well, they're covered under this Medicare type program. It's, I forget the name, what Franny will be able to tell us what it is.
But he will be providing the care for us and charging us under a contract, right? If we decide to go with him. But if he treats that DOC inmate, then who's gonna get
If
with
the
him to make
DOC
sure?
inmate incurs the medical expense, we pay. And we get, through DOC, and then we get reimbursed.
But the standard care that they need, let's say they have an upset stomach or whatever, and the nurse sees them, that's all part of it.
Right, that would be part. Well, what you see with DOC inmates, quite simply, I'm not gonna keep a DOC inmate, that's a medical issue.
Right.
I'm gonna ship them to
Send them
another,
back.
All
I'm
right,
gonna ship them out.
all right.
So the,
So the medical care for him, maybe they may have a headache, he may give them aspirin,
Mhm.
you know, something like that.
Mm.
So it's not, and if they seek medical care, gotta go to the hospital because they cut a finger or something like that, that's actually paid through this program through deals.
so is the proposal says it's based on an inmate population of 115 inmates. Is that,
That's
Parish
pretty
and
accurate, we run
DOC,
about
or-
110,
the-
110 to 115.
how many parish and how many DOC?
We usually run for about 80 parish and about 30 DOC.
So, shouldn't we
We've
be
been as high
prorated
as
of some sort?
130.
Shouldn't we be prorated of some sort for the inmates that we don't have to provide all medical care for? This proposal is based on all of the inmates, but apparently you're not gonna be providing care for all of them all the time.
Right, as long as the inmate's in the facility, we're gonna be providing care for them. He's talking about having to send them out for a serious or other medical issue, you know, where they need other type of care.
I think what
At a
you all are
hospital.
trying to ask is not necessarily with Mr. Ritter, it's with the sheriff.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
what you're getting at. You're talking about potentially a cost share, but I don't think that's anything to do with this contract. This contract is gonna be all inclusive with whoever's there.
Correct.
And then we would need to work out that
Right.
on our side.
And we actually, we probably could give you those numbers actually if it, but like Kim said, she does not get any bills for DOC in May. Because that is handled through DOC. Now, if somebody falls and hurt their leg, will the nurse at the jail see them? Because he's not gonna not see them because they're DOC in there.
Correct.
Because we still got a tenant there, so the nurse would see him.
We're gonna see everybody that's in
Oh,
the facility
that
and
makes
take
sense.
care of them as
I
they.
worry about the money,
Yeah. Oh, I hear, I
you
hear.
know, yeah, yeah. Just-
We all have to,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
big, yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
more so than ever. Yeah, I just wanna make sure,
I
yeah,
agree.
we get charged usually what we get.
Yeah, definitely.
State roads.
So Torres, you said based off what we've been spending, it's been about, what, $295, is it?
For twenty twenty-three, it was 299,000. That's not counting any, payments, indirect costs that we may have paid to the sheriff for transportation or anything like that. That it was strictly providers that we have paid, along with the jail physician and nurse.
So just right now, based off of what you gave me with the nurse and the doctor, for what they, what we compensated them, plus based off the annual contract and the extra 20K, that puts us right at 215 and some change.
It could be a break even. It's hard to say. We'll see. what
It
the
is,
medical is.
you don't
We
know.
won't know until we actually get into it, you know, and every year is gonna fluctuate.
20K you're talking about is already included.
It's
It's in
already
that
included.
195, yes, sir.
The 20 is
It's not
included in the
added to it.
195?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
that's
in
all right.
there,
I'm
so we
sorry then.
potentially
I'll
could
take
get
that
that
back.
back.
Okay.
But
Potentially could.
the pharmaceuticals would be in addition to.
Up to
If you got
$500.
approved,
It's
you're-
applied to that 20,000, and once we reach that 20,000, everything over is your responsibility. Yes.
All right.
All right, so this is what I think I like to do. I'd like to make a motion that we enter contract with Correct Health. Or I would think September 1st.
No,
No, let's wait to hear back from the
no,
sheriff.
we
when
need
his-
to, we can't be paying two.
That's too
Yeah,
soon.
that long.
Because we still gotta
No,
pay
no,
them.
wait till they get closer to Miss.
I think we need to do it, your motion should be at the date to be determined and allow the president maybe to execute the contract at that time. You give him the authority to approve the date? Is that possible?
You have to talk to them and see what's their plan.
Yeah, we got, yeah, based off Miss
And then
Frank.
we could get with Miss Franny, make sure,
Yeah.
cause you don't want all
And
this
we can
overlap.
report back
I
in 2
agree.
weeks. We're
Oh.
April, so I think
We got
that.
time, we got.
Yeah.
Contingent on.
I gotta get it done.
Then what
No,
about
I agree with you, I mean,
Doctor, when that contract agrees.
cause December will be here before we know it.
We'll have to see. Can on the road.
We'll have to pull the contract, but I'm sure there's a 30-day notice or a 60-day notice period to give them notice to get out. So we, and that's why we're bringing this up now, to make sure we have enough time to get all our ducks in a row. He's talking about the contract with the doctor as well.
Oh, yeah, they gotta have a release clause, and then what's your release?
I-
How much notice?
Typically 60 days in most of ours. I've seen them 30, I've seen them 90, so it just depends.
I'll pull all that contract. Just me.
Mr. Knack, I know you had a motion on the floor. You
No,
second that motion now?
Give us some time to get some more specific
Okay.
dates
Just wanna make
together,
sure.
and we'll work on it and get back.
Bring it back next meeting.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Ritter.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Sheriff.
you.
No action at this time. Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Motion by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We're going to Personnel Committee meeting. The record reflect all members are present. Request approval of 2 weeks FMLA leave for CDF employees starting on May 1st, 2024. Motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of end of probationary period for Vernon Jones, Equipment Operator 2, effective May 22nd, 2024.
Yes, sir. I put that on the agenda. I want to make that recommendation of approve that probationary period. Also, I did not put this on the agenda, but I'm gonna ask for this, and I know it's kind of sometimes a bad time to ask. But I like to increase his pay from step grade of 518 to 521. This employee has built 14 catch basins in a 2-month period. He's been very effective and, he's continues to be effective. And, we keep, I think we only have like 2 more left to build that, on that original list, and then we put another one on there today. So, I don't want, he's been courted by other, which I know that doesn't make an impact on anything, but I'd like to keep him. Very good employee.
He was
very
hired
good.
temporarily,
No, sir, he was hired
full-time.
full-time.
He was hired for catch basin.
Or catch bases, but he has a Class A CDL, he can run any piece of equipment on the yard, I like for him to.
What he's currently making, Paul?
1823, operated 2,
And what you want to increase him to?
1924.
I'll make that motion to increase.
Second.
All right, hold on, I just have a question before we end this probationary period. So
Yes, sir.
why do we have an effective date of May 22nd, 2024? Is
That's
that?
his 2 months, 2 months.
Just
probationary period.
really early.
Yeah, so
Why are you so-
I guess the question I have is why are you recommending this now and not allowing Mr. Landry to do it once he takes over? Is there a reason why you want to put it through now or?
Well, I felt strongly about his performance, and if y'all want to defer to Mr. Landry and move it to the next meeting, we can, I know, but I just wanted to, it's not like I'm singling him out and want to do it before I leave, but I'm just very, I'm very.
No, I certainly understand that. I just don't want, I mean,
I understand
Mr.
your
Landry's
point.
here, he's been,
Yes.
I mean, we've named him as the new parish manager effective, May 1st. I don't want to
No,
make it look like we're trying to do something before
We can
you
ask him
vacate
right-
the position without his.
We can ask him right now.
That's correct, I mean, I
Are you in
defer to
favor
Mr.
of it?
Landry if you want,
He's in favor of it.
Okay, that's, I just want to make sure that,
yes.
that
He said
Fine.
he has to be in
sir.
favor of it too.
He's in favor of it, so.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Pineville, second by Mr. Carter to increase his hourly pay from 1823 to 1924.
That's correct, that's from step grade 518 to 521.
And removing the probationary period effective May 22nd, 2024.
Yes, sir.
All in
The
favor?
increase effective that date as well?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Discuss health insurance benefit relative to police jurors.
Then we put on the agenda, that's all.
Hey, you want me to talk? Chris, go ahead. No, you know about
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, after looking at the numbers, I don't see how we can make a change to this policy right now. I mean, that's my take on it. I mean, y'all got your opinion, talk.
Talk, Mark.
I'm not on the committee.
No,
You don't have to be on
Talk.
the committee.
You just can't vote, but you can talk.
You're pretty good at that.
No, I just think that I wasn't ready for it. Let's see, look at the paperwork.
Table?
I think after 20 years, I think 20 years, instead of 29 years should be long enough for the do a certain time, that 55%, ought to be 30% after 20 years for a juror that's serving. That's the only thing I see.
After what years?
In other words, right now, after 29 years, it's 55%. I think it should be after
50.
It's
Yeah.
50%.
50%. If you serve 20 years, it should be the 30% instead of the 50%.
Well, after this term, what you have? How
I
many
think
years
what
after
you're
this
saying
term?
is going in the opposite direction of what you're
No,
wanting.
no.
So I'm like,
And what he's asking for is for the parish to pay 70% and
After
he
20
pays
years.
30% after 20 years of service.
So that would mean an employee that works 20 years of
Not an
service.
employee, not an employee he's asking for a public servant, elected public servant to serve, that has served 20 years.
That's an
or
employee.
more.
That's an employee. So an employee is,
There's a different, an employee is getting retirement. Public service is not.
some do. The constitutional amendment changed that. But some did. So you all are asking for a different structure for elected officials versus employees.
Yes.
I think we're gonna have to take that under advisement and pass it by legal. I know in the private sector, you can't have a different percentage for some employees and not others.
That's why it's how
There's-
it's set up now, and that's why it was set up originally.
There's no distinction between an employee as a public servant versus an employee that comes here Monday through Friday. There's no distinction.
No, you just can't come up and say, oh, as a juror, we want to do this for jurors and not rest of the employees.
Correct.
That's not legal. No, I don't think it is. Yeah. It don't sound good either.
No, it don't sound good.
No, not at all, you know.
All right. No action. It failed, Barn.
Good.
All right. You go ahead and executive
Yes.
session on this, right?
Yes, okay. We need to revisit that, that was wrong when that probationary period is supposed to be April 22nd.
10 days today.
Yes.
Okay, so you weren't that early.
Yes, you confused me when he was asking, I said, hold on, and yeah, it was May 22nd, he's been here 2 months.
It's
That was
supposed
the
to be
wrong, that was a
April
misprint
22nd.
on that was a misprint on the,
Okay, but we can't go back,
We do it in a regular meeting.
so it's gonna be
Effective next pay. period.
effective either the first day of next pay period or tomorrow. We can't go back.
yeah, I understand,
Because it's today's the
Yes.
24th.
that's fine, but I just want to make sure that was an error, that was a misprint on this agenda.
So let's do 4/25
Okay.
or first day of next pay period. Which one y'all want to go?
Next pay period?
First day of next pay period.
Next pay period is fine.
So a motion to revise that,
Motion so moved.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakam, to revise the, start date of the pay increase to next pay period.
Probationary period day too also. Change it.
I think
May
that-
to April.
I think that was just a typo on the agenda. All right, I'd like to entertain a motion to deviate, relative to, personnel matters.
So moved.
Motion by
What you
Mr.
got,
Carter,
what you got, what you got?
personnel matters in the admin office.
motion by Mr. Carter,
Time out. Why are we deviating on this?
Because we received resignations Friday afternoon at about 3 o'clock.
Okay, but so whoever we're discussing, have they been notified that we're planning to go into executive session to discuss this? Because if they have not, and they did not acknowledge that they are okay with us going into executive session, we are not able to do that regardless of the deviation.
2 of the individuals to be discussed have been advised today. They are here present today.
Okay, and they're accepting that we go into executive session for this deviation.
One says yes. Yes, they both say yes.
Okay.
Motion going to
motion
executive.
motion to deviate by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakam, all in favor?
All right.
Opposed?
Motion go to executive session.
Motion to go into executive session by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed?
All right. Session.
Second.
Motion to re-enter regular session by Mr. Nakane, second by Mr. Carter, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. On the deviation matter, we have an accountant that resigned, and we're working with our secretary treasurer on how we, replace that person. She has conducted some interviews, and she will follow up, with those that are interested in interview for the position and bring a recommendation to the jury at our next meeting. So at this time, no action on this item. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Pineville, all in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Around.
Let's go ahead and get started with the road and bridge committee meeting. Let the record reflect that all members are present, except for Mr. Diaz. 2 items on the agenda. First, update on speed bumps on Dogwood Lane, Ward 4. Justin, you got something on that?
I had 2 applications, I been in about a month ago. I reviewed them last week and I went this week to check if they had signage or any kind of non-physical deterrent, and Dogwood does not. So they have a 6-month waiting period before we can approve, put caution at the next meeting. They should be good.
Thank you, Justin. No action on that. Item number 2, update on road overlay, Sawa.
Yes, good evening, gentlemen. I had emailed you all a construction cost update earlier this afternoon. It kind of shows you the tracking totals of where we are to date. Please keep in mind that while you'll see on here, this chart, that some of the streets are showing that they're under construction or that there is no cost spent, that for instance, that work has been done on the street. That is simply streets that are falling in between work being done and invoices having been submitted. In other words, they've done work in Ward 7, in particularly Sweet Haven, some other areas. We have not received those invoices yet. However, we are tracking the asphalt tickets and so forth. Just to give you a quick update, they were scheduled to move into Wards 7, further deeper into Ward 7, in particular the Rue de Cajun area this Friday. However, the paver was damaged pretty severely yesterday. They sent it off for repairs. It should be back in operation by next week. But not to slow things down, we did release them to start patching in areas of particularly Ward 9, because the next large area to move into is going to be Ward 8. There's not a tremendous amount of patching on the scheduled roads to be done there. But they do have extensive patching on Heath and Barrett, some of the streets in Ward 9. So as to not lose time while the paver's down, he's jumped forward a little bit to go patch those areas. Please keep in mind that when you see this total and you see an underrun right now of 1.2 million, that is from our base budget. And you'll notice that there's still significant costs to be done in 7, 8, and 9 that have not been expensed yet. Okay.
Guys, while we need road and bridge, Joseph's here, what I seen, I have a road, Cypress Street, that I called Joseph, just to go out there and see, what it would cost to patch it. Cause it was a road that was destroyed after I gave my list in. And Joseph went out there and looked at it, right, in guys,
Yes.
and, it can't be patched. It's too bad of a spot to be, the road is too bad to patch.
We ran the cost numbers to basically patch the road and just put a skin overlay on it, and the volume of patching required to fix the damaged areas of there. The estimate came out to around $78,000.
Yeah, just a patch.
We ran the numbers just to completely, take it apart and reconstruct it, using saw cement and putting a whole new road, and that came to 75,000. So, with that being known, I can't sit here and recommend that you put a Band-Aid on a road that's.
So it will cost $75,000 to resurface it, to do it the right way?
To completely redo it from the ground up. To come in and demolish what's there would cost $75,000 to put in a salt cement base with a 2.5-inch asphalt
And look,
wearing
I
board.
know we didn't spend, we got a budget already in there, And, I like to get it done while we in Pierre Part. I can't wait another year or 2 years because the road is that bad. If we could just take it out of my next year's account, whenever we blacked out our roads, following here, just take that out then.
You're already over this year.
Well, it's bad.
It don't work that way.
It's bad.
Are we all within budget so far?
Well, we're
Right.
within budget.
Running, just, and I know it's a little bit deceiving, so that you know where you are to date. With the scheduled completion of pulling in shoulders and all these streets that you see are under construction, we're averaging right at about $100,000 under. You'll see there's some significant overages on some of them, but there are some significant unders under 'em. When we got into these bases, some of them were, some of them weren't as bad as we thought, so, it's an average, but as it's tracking right now, we're running about $100,000 to $150,000 under budget.
So with that being said, Mr. Nakane,
Yeah,
my recommendation would be to continue to stay on budget. If we can help Mr. Mathern, let's help him with on the next cycle, but if it's something that needs to be done, let's help him with on the next allocation, just to fund him on that. Let's make sure we stay within budget because all 9 of us had to stay within a certain frame and he still has work to go. So we're gonna help him, but we're not gonna take it out of this budget and hopefully we can go ahead and approve it for the next, for the public.
Well, he's not the only one. I have some patches that needs to be, done as well. And
Right, and we are looking at them, Mr. Palmer, I just don't have the estimates on them done yet. We did go to some of those areas, I sent Brian out today, we're taking some
I was
photographs.
hoping
but I
just to
didn't
go ahead
have
and
those.
patch it, but the road I got is too bad to be patched. That's on Cypress Street. You know, it's just too bad.
I got a question, the road fund that we expended now, that's like January, February, or this month, that we
We get
collecting.
money monthly.
All right, so the last, when we started, say, 3 months ago. So anyway, the money we collecting now, where is it going? It's going
it's in the fund.
it's going to the next fund?
It's in the fund. We don't
It's
have
in
it
the fund.
reserved. I mean, whatever we
It's in the
pay.
funds.
I have calculated we start a program in January, and then I look at the fund, I'll tell them if we're gonna start June, July, what are we gonna have at June,
Yeah.
July? So we've accounted for all that monthly money.
We're in good shape.
We're
with that.
spending that money.
Yeah, we're spending it this
So
weekend.
when this program's finished, we start from scratch.
Mhm.
Money,
But notice-
saving the money for the next project.
But also
Correct.
notice,
It
we
is
had,
started
we had money, we have funds, because we're, just like she said, we accumulated monthly, might be around 100,000 or might be a little bit more.
Mhm.
So even though we set that budget, we had that money. So now we just accumulating, and yes, it could go towards the next. So we're gonna stay within budget though.
If you get out of budget, then all you're doing, you're dipping into future
dipping into
monthly
your next
allocations.
round,
So the next
right,
round, you're just gonna
right.
be shorter,
Right.
because you dipped further into.
Or we start later.
And this is
Or
it's all
basically,
later.
and these
Right.
numbers are based, when I'm telling you that we're tracking 100 to 150,000 under budget, that's based on a budgetary number that you, the jury, gave me. Now, in the past, the way we budgeted that when we were working with accounting is they would sit down and say, okay, we're gonna assess the road budget starting from this date. And so they took whatever the money was in the account at that particular date, and we set that as the budget. So anything that came past that date was not considered. Now, obviously, if you went over budget, she's correct. You're just spending money that's being spilled into that account from that past point, from past that point.
We're in good
So-
shape.
All right, Myron, we're gonna go sit here and see how we stay on budget.
Same budget for it, just kind of put it.
You got it,
Come back to the jury, with the price for Mr. Mathern. Also see if you can get Mr. Pondville and, come back
We
with
have
your
some
price.
other areas,
And
I
we'll
have
look and
some
see-
areas in Mr. Naka's ward that we're looking at as well while we're, while they're in the area. It's an advantageous time. Obviously, there's things that need to be done. For instance, and that's why you see all of the ones that are listed as under construction are still under construction. We haven't closed out, for instance, Elaine Street. The paving is done on Elaine, but we know we still have to come back, address the shoulders, build the shoulders there. So that's still money that's still to be spent on those roads. And that's why I tell you, when you look at this number and you see $1.2 million underrun, that is just dollars and cents of what is being of what is coming in and going out. When I tell you you're running 150, I've already taken into account the fact that I've got to come back and address the shoulder work there, as well as pulling the shoulders on. I know Mr. Diaz isn't here tonight, but I met with him yesterday. We have to pull the shoulders back in on Simmons Road, as well as finishing, finish cleaning in certain areas. So, and again, none of these roads are accepted until we do a final walkthrough of them and a final acceptance with a punch list. And we do have a running punch list that's being kept on all roads. Contractor, as he's there, has taken care of some of those items as they come, but again, we're gonna assess that when we finally think that, okay, shoulders addressed, everything that's listed for him to do on those plans is complete. We will then walk those roads once again and see if there's anything additional to add to that punch list. That,
Good view.
All right, I appreciate
it. Thank you, Joe.
So far, the contract has been through 6 wards, right?
yes, sir.
All right. There's not a single road on here that has been completely constructed.
No, that's what I'm trying to
No,
tell
he
you.
just said
have
he
at least one.
He just told you that.
No, he just.
They should have at least
No,
one.
he didn't close nothing out yet.
I'm not closing them out intentionally,
Yeah,
Mr.
he said
Pondo,
he didn't close
because,
them. Yeah.
So I got a couple questions for you.
okay,
So Mr. Patro, forgive me for asking about one of your streets, Elaine Street. I know there was a lot of rework done on Elaine Street.
Mhm.
And we're close to full budget right now. Have you tracked what rework was done so that we're not paying for the work twice?
yes, we have.
Okay.
And we do that, we collect, not to interrupt you, but to explain how that is done, is we collect the asphalt tickets daily. And so we know what asphalt is being spent on the road on a particular day. So any asphalt tickets that were expensed or sent to us on the particular days where he was doing the repair work, we don't pair those up to the billing invoices.
Okay, and there's an outlier here, the Patty Lane.
Mhm.
It was like about 90% over. Well, about 190% over its estimate.
Yes,
And it says that the reason for over was additional patching.
yes.
Does that justify the
Yes,
$88,000
yes, and
overage?
I can give you, we can go into detail on any of the ones where it says additional patching. I was trying to give you what happened on the end of DuPaty is that road, that particular road, if any of you are familiar with it, it has a concrete curb and gutter system that drains one way. When we got towards the back end of the street, what looked like just regular surface patches, the actual truck, the weighted trucks, when they got back there with the asphalt, started sinking. And so the only way to fix that at the time is you've got to dig it out and put a base in. We looked at sol cement. Actually, even though I realize it's a severe overrun there, that was the most cost-effective out for repairing the back base on that particular road.
I guess the concern that I have, and the whole jury should be concerned here, Mr. Matern's asking for 75,000 to go for
Yeah, just
one
75.
road. We went 88,000 over on the road that never came in front of the jury. We just finding out about it now. You know, that's a concern that we're that much over. If we're over 10% or so, I kind of understand, but if we're going over that much, I think the jury needs to know that, you know.
Even if it means Joe send us an email, quick email, telling us what's going on, emergency situation, we gotta make a decision. When you're going over that.
I understand.
Yeah.
On DuPaty, we did stay in touch with the particular juror in that area. Understand that it being that extreme, that should have come back to the entire.
Yeah, the whole
jury.
joker.
That should have come back to the entire jury. I understand.
Somebody's gonna be short.
No further questions.
No further questions, Joe? Thank, motion to adjourn.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Blanchard,
Second.
second by Mr. Palmer, all in favor? All opposed? Meeting adjourned.
All right, we get the engineering grants committee meeting called to order. Record reflect everybody's present except Mr. Diaz. First item, update on project status and funding sources by GIS Engineering.
Good evening, Governor Czar with GIS Engineering. The only update I have is that we are going through the capital outlay process right now, and the projects that you submitted, I know Jacob's tracking them. He was at the Capitol on Friday. They had a big, hearing. So that's all. I didn't get any update from him on exactly, what went down, but I'm assuming no news was good news.
Gotcha. Any questions for GIS?
Yes, I need to know when Jacob get back, have him give me a call when we going off a bid with Joel.
So that project, I was gonna update you later, it's item 7. You wanna, exactly, I just got the plans from Joseph today. He's finishing up the specs. If everything, when I talk with him, everything should go good. We should be ready to advertise next month.
That's on your level. All right, thank you. Anybody else?
No.
Next item, update from the grants thank you, sir. Update from the grants coordinator, update from Infinity Engine, well,
He's gonna be coming via Zoom, so he should be joining us any minute.
all right. You got that, Justin? Any second? This is from Infinity.
Yes. He'll be Brian.
Ryan, you hear us? Brian, you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, the floor is yours. Wait for the update from you.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir. Very good.
Okay, good, because I came home, I'm on my laptop. I didn't get to do any testing on this machine. So my name is Brian Lorson. I'm here representing Infinity Engineering for the sewer upgrades project. There's no changes since the last meeting, but I can go through the updates that we gave Rayetta for last time if you'd like.
If we don't need no action, I don't think we need to update.
I have a couple of questions.
May have questions for you.
Well, sure, yeah. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay, on the U Virginia sewer system,
Yes.
wasn't for the tie-ins and also the backfill these septic tanks for the residents?
So, I spoke with Lewis, who's, he's also involved in this project on the civil side. Backfilling the septic tanks is not a part of this project, but I think it is required by LDH to be done. You know, once you abandon your private septic system, they don't want it just sitting there, you know, with no regulation checks or anything. So I'm not sure who would pay for that. Maybe there's state grants that can be acquired. Maybe it would be on the homeowners, but I don't have any information about who would be responsible or who's paying. Well, really the homeowners are responsible, but because it's a private septic, but I'm not sure what's the bill for that.
Okay, all other sewer systems that we put down in the parish, the contractor backfill each and every septic tank and also tie the residents in. And we'd like to do that same thing on this project here. So we need to establish a cost and see how much more money we need for that project.
Okay, I can look into that. I mean, to establish a cost, I guess we need to identify exactly where each private septic is located and, you know, because we need to have a length of pipe to dig up and backfill. That's a lot of information, but I can get a ballpark figure and be conservative with it. And I can provide that.
Okay, thank you.
Other than that, we're just waiting on DQ and CDBG to tell us to go. Once they tell us to go, we have to advertise within 30 days. The only outlying things preventing a bid advertisement, it would be the sewer rate study and the acquisition of the U Virginia property. So those two things would allow us to file for an extension with DEQ or really the funding agency, CDBG, to delay the bid. So if there's any updates on either one of those, just keep me in a loop through Rayetta or Brian and, you know,
Where we at with the land purchase? What's all in there?
Tonight,
The purchase of the land.
the survey, we have to get that approved, the survey, and once that's done, the appraisal was already approved, so then we can do the appraisal, abstract, title contract, and
All right.
All right, any other questions?
What are they looking for the cost? The survey costs, not the survey cost, the, household costs. What are they looking for that?
a household call.
Yeah, the.
The rates?
Brian, yeah, didn't you just say
Study
something
of the
about for the rates?
The rate study for installing the new sewer system in Ewell, Virginia, on Ewell and Virginia Street.
Is that in your scope?
No.
Right.
No, sir.
Why isn't it in your scope? That,
I mean, I think I've been told that we can do it, but it's not part of our contract.
that may be yet to be determined.
I can follow up on that if y'all would like Infinity to do it. I believe it's something that we can do. I'm the project manager for this. I'm not all knowing about Infinity's capabilities. We have a lot of different departments, but I can find out if it's something we're capable of. I'm almost certain we are.
Right. Can you please coordinate that with Ms. Rayetta to get that, either an estimate to us or timeline to get that completed? Because I know we're under the gun to get the other projects out to bid. I know you, Virginia's kind of holding up everything, but we may have to do this in a phase 1, phase 2 to get these other projects started so we don't lose funding.
Yeah, I've been in touch with the CDBG coordinator. I think her name is Tracy Watts, and I stay in touch with her pretty much weekly, maybe every other week sometimes. And I just say, hey, is there any change? I know we need to advertise within 30 days of when y'all tell us to go. And she keeps telling me that there's a bottleneck at DEQ because of the new administration. Everything has to go through one person, and that's really what's holding things up.
But I thought we received everything back for the remaining, for the refurbishment stations.
So DEQ does permitting, and they also have a guy over there who does scope verification. I can't remember his name right now, but he told me that everything that was included in the grant description is included in the project. That's all been okayed. But the only thing holding up is, I think, permitting from DEQ's end.
Hey, Brian, just for clarification, your funding cycle is coming from the Recovery Act funds and also the water sector funds, not CDBG.
Okay. I've been talking to people at CDBG. I don't really understand the whole funding source. I'm more on the technical side, but thank you.
All right, any action? All right, Brian.
Thank you very much.
I think we have DDG here as well. They're not on the agenda because they weren't supposed to make it, but plans changed.
Most certainly.
Yeah.
No, for an update. They weren't supposed to come, Hagan said, right? Go
I
ahead.
mean, we are here. So as an update, surveying is complete with the exception of Gerald Street Extension. Still, I think they still have another day or so on that. It should be complete this week. While they've been surveying, we're ramping up our drafting efforts. We're about 25% complete on the plan profiles and the cross sections. That's one of the ones you took a look at earlier today. And with respect to tax one, that's really not much more to report
How
on.
many more you got left for Gerald Street, Levy?
They got about 1 day left of surveying.
And then from there, what happens? Where you go from there?
After that, so we're taking their survey, drafting plan profiles, getting cross sections, and making recommendations on, your typical levy sections.
The drawing that the saw I had wasn't sufficient.
Well, we didn't have survey on that one to start, so that, there is no levee segment on the Gerald Street levee, we'll call it the Gerald Street levee extension, so we had to survey that, and the typical we've got, it's seen as it's a new system, we may be able to get side slopes that, you know, Brian can hope to maintain that are not 2-on-1. We may be able to have a bench, so we have a little bit of room there to create a more sustainable levee system.
Agree with that, bro?
That's what we were talking about today. We went out and looked at the project and looked at the slope because the benches on the back of Pure Sediment was really steep. So we're just gonna bring up the levee to the highway size and then add to the back end of it. If not, we'd have had to move the levee, but in this portion of it, we were 12 foot wide on the top to give us enough accessibility to be able to maintain the levee better and appropriately.
Keep it up, right. And we still straight with no zigzag?
No zigzags. Everything's still straight in line.
All right.
Anything else? Thank you, sir.
I mean, we do have, Amendment 1, which is supporting Gerald Street, that
Let's
permit.
Doing that right now.
Did we, I know we had a question last meeting about with the ring levies and having that part included in it.
So that's not included on this amendment. What we did today is we went out to take a look at those culverts with Jamie and Brian, just do our due diligence before putting together that scope and fee. We'll have that on the next agenda.
All right, next item is a request approval and authorize president to sign the professional services agreement amendment number 1 relative to the permitting agent of record for the Go Mesa Flood Protection Levee Improvement Project with DDG.
Yes, the amendment, cost, $28,350.
28,250.
$350. And that'll bring the total contract to $200,860.
You recommended that, correct? I entertain a motion for that.
Motion.
Motion from Mr. Mathern. Second from Mr. Blanchard, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, request approval to advertise for RFPs for grant manager for Bayou St. Vincent in combination with Corsair Canal.
Yes, it was recommended by, OCD that we procure a grant manager for Bayou St. Vincent as well as Conseil Canal.
So we advertise for RFPs for that. Motion? To move. Mr. Blanchard, second by Mr. Bro, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next, request approval to enter into contract with Charles L. McDonald Land Surveyor Incorporated for the survey of Virginia Street for the water sector sewer improvement project.
Yes, we received 2, quotes for the land survey. Charles McDonald, 1875 being the lowest, bidder, and GIS at 3,500.
Recommend Charles McDonald at $1,875. Correct?
Yes.
So move. Moved by Mr. Blanchard. Second by Mr. Bro, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Anything else, Rhea?
Platteville Drainage, I received an email from Mr. James Lee on April 17th stating he may have misplaced some of the submitted documents. CJ Sava's office did, drop off copies for me yesterday, and I will be hand delivering them myself on Friday. The contract for environmental assessment for Shell Beach was received and signed. Joseph was emailed today to proceed with the environmental assessment. Keep Louisiana Beautiful grant. The boot event was held on Monday, this past Monday. I'm not sure if y'all saw, but we went across on the bayou side, across from here, and did some mulching and it made a difference. It's, it looks very good. It was a beautiful day. We enjoyed it. We also went to the community center and walked around the vicinity and picked up some, litter.
In the ditches.
Yeah, ditches, yeah.
In the ditches.
Yeah. The trash receptacles were installed at Veterans Park, Attakapaw, and Grant Park. And their final report is due by April 30th. So I'm working on that. And that's it.
Yeah. Let's give an update on the Bayou St. Vincent dredging project.
Okay, the state has a contract with Arcadis, to do they can do the H&H study, where they already have funds for that, and it would be paid through OCD. Yeah,
Through OCD, right.
through OCD.
They've actually already been paid
Yeah,
to do the work for all of the LWI program. So it would be utilizing Arcadis to complete the pre-qualification engineering to make sure the project is a valid project for LWI. So I did speak to GIS to have them share their information that they have from the survey that they did to speed up the process with Arcadis. And we'll be meeting with them next week to set that up. And then we were approved to go out for RFQ for engineering and design. She said we can go during our conference call. She indicated that we can move forward with that,
RFQ.
with RFQ. So, again, preparing that RFQ to get that out.
Anything else?
Yeah. Under, capital outlays. So, Lee Drive, the pumps, Platteville drainage, Myron's boat launch, all CEAs that has been signed, have been granted, is in the bill and will be granted for an extension. So just one, huh? Oh, I was gonna wait till last. Oh.
Okay.
Jeff, you want me to wait, go with the fire hydrants now, or you wanna wait till last?
I guess we,
You said granted for an extension?
Yeah, it's in the bill.
we'll go last.
All right.
All right, anything else from Ms. Crochet? Next item, update on Bell Rose drainage project.
So now I received the plans from Mr. Sawa, and today he indicated that he was gonna send me the scope and estimate.
Yes,
to review.
I don't know if you saw my last email, but I'm putting together a takeoff on that. I do have estimates that were previously done. The latest was being March of 23, that was submitted under the CDBG, originally the CDBG program, and then again, I think this went under, maybe we attempted for water sector, but the original budget on those was around $646,000. That included reconstruction of the roadway. So I'm doing a new takeoff now, removing the construction of the roadway. We should be somewhere around the $300,000 budget for the drainage is what we're expecting. I'm putting those numbers together and we'll be saying that to you so that we can include that in as the final bid proposal.
All right, and that's gonna be the itemized estimate, just as you provided for Michael Jolomar.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So when can I expect?
We started doing those takeoffs this afternoon. If I have those takeoffs done by, close of business tomorrow, I expect to have them to you in your hands by Monday.
Sure, what we got you up on the floor. For that, Gerald Street 11 project, you had got the core permit and all, did you get the core permits and all? You met with the core out there?
Yes, we met with the Corps out there at that, if I recall, again, you're picking my brain a little bit.
Right.
I met with them out there. We were in process for getting that permit. The last step was we were awaiting the Corps to submit what they were gonna require regarding mitigation for the levee clearing itself.
Did y'all get anything on the core? That's your project?
We have been conversing with the Corps. Our senior permitting guy was with us today. He's not with us now, so I can't speak for exactly what his conversations have had with the Corps. I just know we're moving the alignment from what is on Sunrise to the Kid Brownell property.
Right,
So.
and that was included.
That was
included already.
Before we had been removed in the permitting, that was already submitted to both DNR and the Corps. We were already relocated on the Brownell Kid, so they should have been, when they met with us out there, the surveyor had put a stake line, down where the new line was proposed to go. So that is what they took into consideration when they were gonna come back with the mitigation requirements. So
So all
I
this.
don't know where they stand now.
They still
can't
haven't
answer.
come, they still haven't provided any information on that. We can check in to see.
Yeah, check, because that's all stuff that's been done already, that, we ain't gonna do it again. You know,
No, we understand that, and I
now, I
think
wanna
we're
think
also.
moving forward, I don't wanna just, and, that level needs to be built.
All right. Update on, Ag Center roof project.
Ag Center roof project, we have been going back and forth trying to get information out of this contractor. I did have one missed call from him today. I sent him an email, which I copied Mr. Blankenship on this evening. If we do not have proper correspondence from him by the next meeting, I will be sending a recommendation that we possibly move forward. Again, this would have to be sent to your legal for review, but we may have to start the process of declaring them non-responsive.
Have any materials in order for this project?
To my knowledge, they had told us that was underway, but we have not seen the proper submittals nor documentation which we requested of those materials. So without having seen those receipts and nothing's been delivered to the site, it's kind of, and I'm not getting proper communication back from the contractor. It's hard for me to tell you that.
Have you been in communication with this contractor since last meeting?
Yes. Yes. I have not heard back from him. He's had communication from my office.
You haven't heard back from him since last meeting?
I have not spoken to him, no. I've not heard back from him.
Move forward with it now.
No conversation, no email, you had a missed phone.
As I said, I had a missed phone call from him today. I can't say that he did not try to call. I did have a message for a missed phone call today. I had had correspondence previously back from his staff. I have asked them repeatedly for some very simple, basic submittals, such as a schedule of values, as well as the Gantt chart requesting time schedules. All of that is spelled out in the contract. We have requested those submittals. They have repeatedly come back with additional questions about how, why, what, when, where.
It's not a good start.
It's not a good start.
We
No,
got
sir.
all this bonding information.
Yes, sir, we do.
All right, still on top of it.
Yes, we are, and that's why I forwarded
Guys
an
out of
email.
Florida, right?
Yes, sir.
Guys out of Florida, contractors out of Florida?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he ain't got no concern with us.
Yes, sir. And so I, like I said, any correspondence I have, I'm gonna copy Mr. Blankenship on.
Yeah.
But,
Need to move
we want to make sure that we document it correctly. Again, I'm not gonna advise you with how to move forward regarding legal. All I can tell you is from the engineering and the contract standpoint, we're getting to a
We'll
point where
decide
we're
on the
concerned.
legal part. All right, update on Tacopah Landing? The bathroom's open.
I have no correspondence on that.
Mike didn't relay anything to me.
Mike, we have no information.
According to Facebook, it's none. Maybe by the end of the week.
Facebook, yeah.
Stay on Facebook, right?
All right, update on, courthouse renovation project.
I spoke to Mr. John Strebe on, excuse me, on Monday. And, we should have a complete set of plans and with a cost estimate next week to bring back to the jury at the next meeting. Give you an idea where we stand for with the bathroom renovations. As I expressed once again, that was our priority, was the bathrooms, and then they're gonna continue to work on the rest of the information that we requested. So I should have a, cost estimate on the restrooms at the next jury meeting.
Thank you.
Did they provide an estimate yet for the remaining scope?
They haven't given me an estimate for anything yet, next week.
All right, we had an update on Jolly Moore drainage project. Any more? With update of Bertrandville drainage canal project?
Not much has changed since the last meeting. We are still in the process of completing those final plans. As I said, I believe I told you, and I don't want to misspeak here, but I believe I told you we would have about 30 days and we would have those finished plans to you. We're still on track to do that. So I'm hoping that at the next meeting, we'll have the finished plans along with a breakdown, prepared to go to bid.
Thank you. Aaron, you had update on Gerald Street level.
Yeah,
project.
DG said he gonna start 30 days.
Update on ring levers at Fairport, that we had discussion on that already.
Yes.
Update on Lee Drive project.
I do have a small update. I met with Mr. Ponville after the last meeting. We discussed some of the issues that he had on Lee Drive. At this time, I understand that the project is substantially complete and so forth, but in the interest of good faith, I'm going to go out and assess some of those issues that he presented to me. I will then come back to you at the next meeting with some recommendations on how to move forward. Is it acceptable?
When can we meet out there? When are you available to meet out there?
I will get with my staff and I'll contact you if that's okay.
All right, update on Shell Beach boat landing project, landing.
Anything?
Same thing, go ahead.
Or just that the, contract was signed for the environmental assessment.
Okay.
Yes,
To
we're
stop road.
moving forward. We're moving forward. We got the paperwork today.
Any, update on fire hydrants?
Yeah, got with Senator Price. He got with facility planning, as pertains to the fire hydrant, project. The money is still there, even though everything had closed out. His recommendations to me, as I'm gonna present to you all, is to either he's gonna put an amendment in the bill to extend it for another year, based off if the contract, I think, was Betco, Byron E. Talbot, if they will go ahead and still honor to go ahead and install the fire hydrants at the same, I guess, whatever the contract was.
Move on the contract.
Right, was on the contract.
No, I know they're on the bond, and I know they wanna close.
Yeah, they
all
want to
that
close
bond.
their bond out.
Right, so we can do that, or we also talked about releasing the fire hydrants to the waterworks and letting them go ahead and install. We can do that to where facility plannings will send us a letter letting know that we can go ahead and release those fire hydrants, 75 fire hydrants to the waterworks and let them install
They
where
can
they
use them.
need them throughout the
They
parish.
can get
So
them.
I asked Mr. LeBlanc to go ahead and do an assessment to see exactly what we have, because Mr. Sawa sent out an email that we were in possession of all the hydrants and other materials, so were you able to get a chance to do
Yes,
that?
sir. We have fire hydrants and we have a valve, a gate valve for each hydrant that would be utilized, I guess, in a lateral to shut that hydrant off if there are leaks. So we have hydrants and valves for each hydrant.
How many?
We have 74 fire hydrants and 75 valves.
Sitting in the garage. Gotta go to work.
So
All right, so,
So we got to choose one.
well,
whatever direction y'all want to go in,
So,
and I'm gonna hit him up, let him know.
so the contractor, and I don't know, Ms. Salva, you know, it was 28 hydrants, I believe, that he had in his scope to install. Is that
That's
correct?
I believe so. From my last recollection, yes. It's been a little while since we looked at it.
Right. What I would like to see us do is go and have those 28 installed that was supposed to be installed under that contract, and the remaining to get to the 74 would be transferred to the waterworks so that they can install them where they need them. So it's basically a combination of the two
Both.
options that,
Right.
that Ryan presented. But it
Yeah,
would
right.
utilize 100% of the line item appropriation that was given to us, which is, at the end of it, we're still gonna have these hydrants left over. I would just rather
Yeah.
transfer them to the waterworks
Yeah,
now
that-
instead of waiting until after we
Yeah.
close out the.
They might be using it now.
I just did get a text that said the contractor informed accounting that his price in the contract is no longer valid.
So
Give them to the
now,
waterworks.
square one. You wanna get it all to the hot,
That's what I do. Get
release
it to
them
the
all?
waterworks. That way we don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it.
Don't wanna just go ahead and release them all,
Release
we
'em.
just get it, we'll get a letter from, facility planning, letting us know that we are, we can go ahead and release those fire hydrants.
So we still have 200 and,
276,662.31 still left out there. It's free money.
Yeah, well, unless, I mean, now he may not want to, but we can install as many hydrants as we can to that contract value because we have that money available to us from line item appropriation. If we just take them and turn it over, we're gonna lose that $250,000 that's already allocated to us.
Yeah, it's still, ain't never moved. Never moved.
Long up for bid again, maybe somebody else might want to install.
He gonna extend it for another year. He's gonna put an amendment in the bill to extend it if we wanna do it. It's up to y'all. I told him whatever direction the jury wanna go, we're gonna go with.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
And this is just, again, this is entirely up to you all, but if I'm understanding you correctly, you still have an allocation out there of around 206,000?
76,000.
276,000, excuse me. With that, you would have to request of that funding agent, would they allow you to expense that money within the public bid law, under the guidelines of the public bid law? You may be able to, I think now the threshold is right at around 250, if I'm not mistaken, for getting 3 quotes. You may be able, since you're under a time crunch, you may want to consider either going out for 30-day price to reinstall those hydrants with the materials that you have, or possibly entertain going get 3 quotes if the funding agent would allow you to do that. And then that would at least allow you to not lose that money. You would then get those smaller portion of hydrants installed, and so forth. Now, granted, you're not going to be able to hold that current contractor to his existing price, so you are going to probably pay an increase there, but at least you're not losing that fund.
I say we transfer the 46 hydrants and then go out for bid for the remaining 28 to have them installed.
Yeah.
Joseph, have you been paid for this yet? For the hydrants?
No, that's 74.
Yes.
What we owe you on this project?
I would have, to be perfectly honest, I can't give you that number off the top of my head, but it would be a reduced rate, obviously, because, you know, not having gone through with the full project and not having the inspection on the back end, it's just, whatever's remaining in the final design.
But
But
I'm
at
pretty
that
sure
point-
you submitted all of the invoices that you had.
Again,
last cycle.
I'd have to see what has been paid, and that's why I said that. I know, as I just said, in that contract, we had inspection and other things that would be null and void. I don't know, I can't tell you off the top of my head right now whether we're at a 90% design fee or whatever it is.
What was the cost on it? Yeah,
No,
an engineer?
Ron, we have a year on this? He's gonna be extended for another year.
Yeah, he's gonna
correct?
put an amendment in it to
Are
extend
there
it.
any other time constraints that we need to be concerned
I
with?
wanted to let him know as soon as possible,
But
bro.
let's put together a package so everything can be reviewed and put it on the next agenda so it can be fully discussed. I think it's unfair to ask questions to Mr. Savoy when this wasn't even an agenda item. We're handling it under the grants coordinator's position, but I would prefer that it be handled in a lump conversation at the next meeting.
Got you, come. I'll get the numbers together.
But we can still move forward with requesting that the extension be.
Absolutely.
I can
The
do that.
request for the extension under the grants coordinator's presentation,
that
I think is
motion.
acceptable.
That we request an extension.
We got a motion by Mr. Blanchard to request for an extension. Second by Mr. Bro, all in favor? Opposed?
We need to start our meeting early.
Motion carried. Any other business? Motion to adjourn. By Mr. Blanchard, second by Mr. Bro, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
We'll get started with our regular meeting. Please rise for a prayer and pledge. God, who teaches us by sending the light of the Holy Spirit into our hearts, grant that by the light of that Spirit, right judgment may be ours, and that we may ever find joy in his guidance. Amen.
Second pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Request approval of minutes of regular meeting on April 10th, 2024, and special meeting on April 17th, 2024. Motion by Mr. Carter. Second by Mr. Bro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. We'll now take public comment for any item on the agenda. Second call. Last call. Let the record reflect no public comment. Drainage Committee report, Chairman Ponville.
Yes, sir. The Drainage Committee meeting was held this afternoon at 4:30. We approve the following, that's to sweep out the outfall, the north side of Ruthie Poolville. On Dag Street, we approve the culvert and catch basin replacement at 248 Redwood Street. We approve the catch basin at 125 Pond Street. We approve to send a letter to DOTD to change out the culvert at 3555 Highway 1. We approve to sweep out the outfall of Yule Street, culvert replacement at 149 Bell Point Lane, and culvert replacement at 5734 Highway 1. We approve the overage on job number 93163 at 114 Phillips Street, Ward 8. We approve the culvert replacement at 182 Bayou Tranquil. Present this all in form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Pineville.
Second.
Second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Finance Committee met at 4:40. All members were present. We approved to pay the list of bills submitted through April 19th, 2024. We approved the review of the budget comparison statements for major funds for 2024. Approved and authorized the president to sign a contract with DOTD for the state project public transportation operating assistance program. We approved the annual CPI rate adjustment of 6.05% for Waste Depot. We approved to purchase cameras for the DMV office. We discussed purchasing dual-facing cameras for parish vehicles. And Mr. Justin Claiborne will follow up on that. And we discussed the jail nurse position and had a presentation from Correct Health, and no action was taken on that item. Entertain a motion to accept Finance Committee report.
Motion to accept your committee report.
Motion by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Personnel Committee report. Personnel Committee met, we approved 2 weeks FMLA leave for CDF employees starting on May 1st, 2024. We approved the end of probationary period for Vernon Jones, Equipment Operator 2, effective April 22nd, 2024. And approved a pay increase from $18.23 to $19.24, effective next pay period. No action was taken as we discussed the health insurance benefits relative to police jurors. And there was one deviation for a personnel matter to discuss the vacancy in the accountant's position. No action taken at this time. Our Secretary Treasurer will bring a recommendation to us at our next meeting.
Motion to accept your report.
Motion to accept Personnel Committee report by Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Road and Bridge Committee report,
Yeah.
Chairman Alcorn.
Road and Bridge Committee met this afternoon. All members were present except for Mr. Diaz. 2 items. Update on speed bumps on Dogwood Lane. No action, and update on the road overlay program. No action. I give you these 2 items in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Alcorn,
Second.
second by Mr. Bro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Engineering Grants Committee report, Chairman Nakam.
Yes, all members present except Mr. Diaz, rest of the jury was here. We had an update status of funding sources by GIS Engineering. Also had an update from the grant coordinator, update from Infinity Engineering with no changes, update from DDP also. We request approval and authorize president to sign professional services agreement amendment number 1 relative to the permanent agent record for Gulf Mesa. Flood protection levee improvement project DGG, for the sum of $20,350. Next item, request approval to advertise for RFPs for grant manager for Bayou St. Vincent in combination with the Constant Canal. Also request approval to enter contract with Charles L. McDonald Land Survey Incorporated for the survey of Virginia Street for Water Sector Program Improvement Projects in the amount of $1,875. We had several updates, one on Bell Road Drainage Project, Ag Center Roof Project, Tacopah Landing Project was no update.
Excuse me, I got a text from Mr. Diaz and he said the contractor left the bathrooms open yesterday.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Paul, can we send, clean the crew just to,
Yes,
be contracted good? Ought to be,
Good.
but
Well, I'll get with my ladies because they gotta go restock it and all of that.
there you go.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Update on, we had update on the courthouse renovation project, Jordan Morris Street Drainage Project, Bertrand Bill Drainage Canal Project, Gerald Street Levy Project, Ring Levees and Fairport, Lee Drive Project, and Shell Beach Boat Landing. We did, heard about, fire hydrants, and we had a motion to request for an extension that we're going to have Mr. Ed Price take care of, correct?
Correct.
All that in the form of a motion, Mr. President.
All right, motion by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Presentation of donation of funds for emergency response equipment, fuel trailer by Exxon Mobil and CF Industries.
Good.
Yes, sir. This was a project that me and Mr. Randy, or actually Mr. Randy spearheaded this project from Exxon Mobil. We have Mr. Randy from Exxon Mobil. We have Ms. Jackie McCrary from CF. We also have Mr. Josh Gonzalez and Mr. Scott Cavier from CF. And we have Mr. TJ Boudreau from InLink. And this is what we meet every, I think, bi-monthly on our PC meetings. And last year we were discussing equipment that we had and different, the different equipment we could use for storm events. And I got a discussion with Mr. Randy about our fuel truck was need to be retired. And he said, well, Paul, maybe see if we can maybe find you some funds to maybe upgrade that. So they're here today. They're presenting us with some checks for a fuel trailer. And it won't do it 100%, but it's about 95% of funding of a new trailer on the prices I've gotten. So they're here just to if you want to say anything, Mr. Randy, or you just
We're just glad to help.
Yeah.
Appreciate our partners that were involved. I'll let Jackie speak.
yes, Ms. Jackie from CF Industries.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Paul. Good evening, police sheriffs. I'm Jackie McCrary. I am the Community Relations Manager for CF Industries Donaldsonville Complex. I'm proud to have my two coworkers here with me, Josh Gonzalez, who works in process safety, and Scott Cavier, who works in maintenance. And so CF, our mission is to help feed and fuel the world sustainably. So we're very proud of the work that we do to help farmers feed the world. Safety and community are the foundation of all that we do. And so we were very proud to support our local first responders, the EOC, with this sponsorship. We appreciate Exxon Mobil and InLink, our partners on our blue ammonia project. And we thank you for what you do. And God willing, we'll be spared and hopefully no natural disasters, hurricanes this summer. But we're proud to support, the local community. Lots of our employees live here. We work with a lot of nonprofits in your area. And most recently, we've started to visit with Dr. Crochet at the high school and get more involved in career exploration and to make sure that the students are aware of the many job opportunities that we have at the complex. And we have some proud alumni here too, so we're really proud of that. And just thank you for allowing us to be here. And thank you to Mr. Paul Randy at Exxon Mobil and also our friends at InLink.
Yes.
Well, good, man. We appreciate the trailer. What's capacity?
It's gonna be a 880 gallon fuel trailer, and it's the way it works is it's 7 110 gallon tanks. So you can put it behind a 3/4 ton truck, and you're not required to have a CDL or hazmat endorsement to do it. So it's they have them I found them in Jefferson Parish, so once we get the funding, I have to ask for a little more funding, but we can get it within 3 weeks time. 2 to 3 weeks time. So it's under budget to where we can only have to get one price. So I don't have to I'm meeting the procurement requirements, so we're good.
When you get it, what plant you'll go to fill it up first?
Well, they got depth, I know that. So, but no, I'm very appreciative of y'all.
Yeah.
So it's a project we worked on for about 7 months, so,
Yeah, on behalf of the jury, thank you guys. We recognize that your footprint is outside of Assumption Parish, but you definitely felt here with the residents that we have here. I know several residents work at both facilities and even InLink, well, InLink has a parish presence.
Too, we have some pipelines that run in our parish.
Right, so, we definitely appreciate y'all contributing to this cause, and, whenever y'all can help again, please let us know.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yes, right. Y'all come back now.
Paul, do they want a photo?
Yeah. Hold on.
Do a quick pic?
Sure.
Show the check.
Oh.
Well, I've only got one in my hand, small. We can do that.
Oh, that's good.
It's, if y'all would just come stand maybe right in front here, we'll stand up.
Yeah, you gotta know that. Then you bring Mr. Randy, you brought the big.
Yeah, no, that's the little check.
Okay.
Yeah, next time I got a big check.
That's the little check.
You're already up.
Thank you, Nathan. Nice to meet you.
Big check. Yeah, we talk.
We can make that, we can just put this check.
Sir, how you been, brother?
Check. Oh, you're old resident.
There you
Y'all
go.
give them all the money and jump.
All the money.
There you go. Hold the money.
Wait, I was about to say, Kim, I couldn't see you. Y'all ready?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well,
You should already be in the bank.
Yeah, this is the new one that I got tonight, we'll put that in your hands. Other two in the bank.
All right.
That's all money.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, they're not here. You got extra, but they're not.
Well, there were 4 items, I just want to make sure. You okay with tabling items 11 and 12, or is there?
Yeah, they're not here.
Okay,
Not yet.
all right. We'll table item 11 and 12. Item 13, discuss bulky waste pickup, Mr. Bro.
Yes, I've been bothered with this, so many trash are going, the trash piles are being picked up. Ward 4, and, I have copies of, some of them are located in here. Some of them had been picked up in 4 months, and some of them longer than that. There's even vegetation growing in, and, it's a shame when the trash pickup. I call them, I call them, and then I respond. I'd like to see what else we can do. You get somebody else to pick up in Ward 4, you hire them.
Well,
So they're not responding at all to you?
Not at all. They're not, they're still out there.
Are they on the list?
Huh?
Are those
Did
piles?
you
on
look
the
at
Well, all
the-
excuses, now they have many
I'm saying, did you, well, so you all talking to somebody?
not anymore,
You talked to Brian today.
You talked to Brian?
not long.
He saw me.
Supposed to come here tonight.
Yeah, did you look at the out of spec list that they put out?
Was that?
The out of spec pile that's out of spec? Are they on there?
Yeah, well, some of them aren't. I know it must, actually mine. I have some in front of my house. And I put it out myself. And then they pick it up. It passed, so this is like 2-3 months ago. The truck, they looked at me and kept on.
Mr. B, what Mr. Carter is saying, based off the contract that we have with the bulky,
Contract.
they got certain specs that what they can pick up, what they can't pick up, how much they can pick up on each
Well,
one. So I don't
they're
know.
not picking up.
Give me
So,
that.
well,
it must be the reason why.
Let me.
Look, we even have a problem on Pine Street. You remember that? And finally, they picked it up. But for how long we were begging them to pick it up? And they had all kind of reasons.
Yeah, there are 3 or 4 piles at one resident.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, at the same resident.
No, different ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
4 yards on vegetation.
Well, the thing is,
You know how long it'll take for 4 piles to get picked up? A while.
Well, we have to get
But
another contract.
we put the contract and stated it that way, Mr. Bro, as our fault. I mean, we wanted more
No, not for the
waste
people with
picked up.
something bad, because they set fire to it. We had a big fire. 3 fire trucks had to come. The poor lady, she lit the fire, there, nobody was picking it up, and the wind caught it, and it almost burned the whole neighborhood. Just started
Wow.
crying. Yeah, but hell,
But that's still not the contractor's fault. We put the policy, we put the contract
it's our
together.
fault.
We put the
Let's
contract
cancel,
together.
let's cancel and get another.
We put the contract together and say 4 yards.
Well,
So if you got a large pile, they're gonna pick up 4 yards.
Well, I see on TV, you know, the lieutenant governor, he wants to clean up Louisiana, so hell, let's call it. I want to call it for the next meeting to come. I'll show him the piles.
I'm about, Charles,
And we have a lot of those piles were tabled at these meetings.
Send an email a day.
cool. All right. Charles, give me the addresses. I'm gonna personally look at them and let you know if they're out of spec, not in spec. If they got is there an empty lot or the customer paying water bill or they not? You follow me?
There's another thing with the water bill. That's for garbage. That's for inside stuff that you're getting rid of.
That's the.
Trash is outside.
All that is funded through that same fund.
Just the fun.
I was on the jury some years back, and they picked up in front of 3 houses, a neighbor, 2 neighbors, and myself, in 2 hours, a trash much bigger than what I have in front of my house right now.
Different contract?
No, different kind, but let's get one like that again, because they picked.
Yeah, we can get one like that.
Coming up.
We gotta pay for it though.
Pay for it. We gotta do it for the people with something bad.
Third year.
All the people with something bad are their customers.
Right.
And they tell them all kinds of stuff why they can't pick it up.
I agree with you on that.
It's
That's
wrong.
fine. So send those addresses to
Y'all
Mr.
like it,
Naki
yeah,
and let him
it's
follow up on them.
I want to get the lieutenant governor here at the next meeting or somebody from his office that have to come clean up my ward, Ward 4.
I'm gonna send a letter.
Request approval for a new light installation at 2861 Highway 308 in Ward 4.
And that's been asked for the last 10 years.
At that address?
At that address,
This address is in the lighting district?
yes. He even come to this, he came to this office trying to get it.
That's where, that's by Lily?
I don't know how. Who took that out?
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Brew to request a light at 2861 Highway 308 in the lighting district.
If it's in a lighting district, I'll say
Is
that.
it?
motion.
Second by Mr. Pineville. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request DOTD to blacktop gravel section on Highway 1014 in Ward 4.
30 years ago, I was a juror and I put in an application to have them hard service that road, and it's terrible. It's a total wash. It's, you can't go over 25 miles an hour there right now. And it's terrible when the state's not doing a damn thing about it. I would like to put in another application to it. Let's see if they can do it again and send copies of it to all the legislative delegation of this parish.
I'll second that motion.
Yes, you want to. Another thing, at the corner, there's 2 stop signs on E.G. Roby Show. One's upside down and the other one's in the ground. So fix those, and there's a power pole, and that's another light I want to put in. At one of the stop signs at, where the gravel section ends, the blacktop section. And put a light there so they can see the stop sign. And it's in a lighting district.
The 2861 is in a light.
Okay, so where you want the light on this now that you're talking about?
1014 in, at E.G. Roby Show Road, at the crossroads.
Yeah,
At
that'll be
intersection?
subject to DOTD's approval. They don't put lights at intersections. They don't want lights at
I
intersections.
won't. I'm talking about a street light, not a red light.
That's what we're talking about.
Street light.
Street light so they can see the stop sign.
I understand what you're saying. It has to get DOTD approval to have a street light at an intersection. That's part of the lighting. It won't be installed unless it gets DOTD approval. That's part of the process.
Get them here too. I have quite a few things on
Bring the
that.
cane.
Or that still goes to Haven.
Mike will help you out
No,
with that.
Entergy has to get the permit from
Oh, Energy
DOTD
gets with
before they
DOTD.
can install
Okay.
it, yes.
Okay.
But in a light district.
It's not a lighting district.
Give me your card.
All right, so for item 15, the request to blacktop the gravel section on Highway 1014, we have a letter sent to that effect. On a motion by Mr. Brewer, second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval to send a letter to property owner at 6685 Highway 308 requesting to clean out natural drainage system in front of property.
Yeah, gentlemen, it's on tab number 16. I put this on the agenda. I've been trying to reach out, to this landowner, property owner. And they did have a contractor that cut down the trees and removed they put all the vegetation into the servitude, and there is an outfall that goes straight to the bayou. So I like to have a letter sent to them that they have to remove it. Myron, what that was you did when they went to the fall line fishery or something like that?
That was Mr. Charles.
I think
Yeah,
your,
just sent a
your
letter. I
letter
had
should be
drafted a letter,
to the
I think.
effect of notifying them that
They have to-
contracted debris will not
Yeah.
be picked up by a bulk waste
I'll send a
contractor.
letter to,
And they have to
we had
remove.
already drafted it, so I'll just send it to y'all tomorrow, and just so.
All right, well, that's my
All
motion.
right. Motion by Mr. Alcorn,
Second.
second by Mr. Pineville. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval to reappoint Lucian LeBlanc to the Bayou Lewis Rec District Number 1 for a 5-year term.
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Patero, second by Mr. Bro. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval to reappoint Patrick Johnson to the Work Connection, Inc. Board of Directors for a 2-year term.
Yes, his term expires and we did get a letter. I think they have communicated with him. He does have an interest to extend, so they're requesting our extension.
Anybody else volunteer motion?
Somebody-
Yeah, motion.
Motion by Mr. Alcorn, second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the first phase of derelict structure procedure for 5 dwellings located at 3178 Highway 1 in the Lavderville community.
Now you talking. Hallelujah.
You got pictures of them?
So this has been on the agenda several times.
Look in your tab.
But never went for the second.
And the tables,
Never went for the second. phase.
not tabling this time.
Oh, yeah, I make a motion.
Yeah, this time this goes. It's
Yeah,
passed.
well,
Motion
That's why I was.
Motion by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Carter.
Beautify the parish, but we can start now.
All in favor?
All right,
Opposed? Motion
put
carried.
that out tomorrow.
Request approval to accept low bid submitted for the demolition, removal, and disposal of the derelict structure located at 101 West Avenue in the Porterville Community, Ward 5.
I received 4 bids today, with the lowest bid being from Collins Property Maintenance LLC in the amount of $8,805.
Or what? You got pictures of the.
The demolition on 101 West Avenue, which it's been on the agenda twice already.
It already went through the process. It just went out for bid now.
Let's just make sure they have all the proper insurance and.
Yes, we did receive all of that, so,
You know it.
Before,
Motion
okay,
by Mr. Carter,
second.
second by Mr. Pineville. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval to adopt ordinance 24-06 to levy grass cutting charges totaling $1,056.50. Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of occupational license for Revair Electric LLC, Napoleonville, and Sassy Wags and Whiskers, Pankerville. Motion by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion adjourned.
No,
Motion to-
deviation, I got a deviation.
Oh, not tonight. no.
Yeah, I got one deviation real quick and it's
Related to,
related to the school system, Head Start. They would like to use the Ag Center to help promote early childhood care and also early childhood in the parish. And also try to get kids registered in Head Start pre-K for the next 2024-25 year.
What day they want?
They wanted on June 14th to set up and June 15th to have the event.
Put on an extra picture.
Well, they wanted to go out to advertise, Jeff. That's why they asked for it. And they didn't know if they was gonna be able to get a venue.
all right. Motion to deviate?
I have a deviation.
Huh?
I'll have a deviation.
What you got?
Which item relative to?
What, lights is out in the parish, in my ward. And I'm having difficulty with energy putting back on, and some's been out for some 15 years.
We have a motion to deviate.
Lighting just,
Let's get a motion to deviate first on Mr. Alcorn's item for the Ag Center. Anybody make a motion? Motion by Mr. Mathern. Can I get a second?
second.
Second by Mr. Bro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
You want to continue?
Yes.
Okay, the Ready Start Network, is going to help, support early childhood in Assumption Parish. The target audience will be Assumption Parish families with children the age of 5 years old. This event will be free and open to the public. They will invite local agencies to set up booths to educate parents on best practices, on social, emotional, and health development, as well as booths specializing in tips for parents. They also plan to have games, story time, petting zoo. Families will have the opportunity to meet program partners and complete an application for childcare, Head Start, and pre-K for 2024 and 25 at the event.
What they want to, Ag Center?
At the Ag Center,
What,
The right side or
the
left
big
side?
arena, the small arena?
whatever we allow them to have.
If
They ain't got nothing now.
Is grand, petite, and concession. And I have the prices on there already.
We don't know the
They
concession.
ain't gonna be able, they already know, they can't use no concession, and they ain't got no bathroom.
Is
I
the-
want
is
to
the-
clarify, this
did
Ready
you
Start
look-
Network is
did you look and see if it's
affiliated with the
open?
school
Those
boards.
dates are
Affiliated
shared?
with the school
Yeah, I
board,
think
it is
It's right.
a committee, that is granted by the state that they have to have in order to try to get funding for early childhood care in the
And
parish.
what day of the week you doing it?
They wanna do it on June 15th, but they wanna set it up on the 14th.
What is that? Or what?
Saturday.
Saturday? Set up on Friday?
Set up on
Saturday?
Friday, do it.
That's why they probably don't want to send. All right.
Well, the center, no, man, the center's being used. It's already
That's
booked.
probably why they don't.
We're gonna confirm that this is available too. I would,
Oh, I thought it was.
motion
it
approved
may be,
if it's
just, we're gonna
available.
make sure.
I think they'll be,
Motion approved by
Approve
Mr.
it's
Nakam.
available and also advising them that.
Public comment first.
Yeah, no concessions and no, restrooms.
No, they ain't selling nothing.
Second by Mr. Alcorn. Part of the vote will take public comment. Any public comment on this item? Second call. Last call. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Now take a motion to deviate on, by Mr. Bro for his item related to lights.
We need
a
another
second?
deviation motion or we under?
He didn't do it together, so yes.
Okay.
Just do initial.
We get a second? Second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor?
Ah,
Opposed?
Would you like to have, request an entity representative to be here at the next meeting? Or
At
you like?
all meetings when I finish. I started when I first got in office. Locating like this out. Area 1 and 308 in Millwater. And,
I just a
I was
question.
never able, was that?
How are you sending the requests in?
Was that
How are you sending your requests in for to get the light fixed?
the office? And it's still not
You
there,
have-
a lot of it.
Okay.
This is 45 minutes night before last I went around. There's 35 I found on streets away from area 1.
Oh, this,
And I just started. This is a lady came from New Orleans office, not from Laverdale. And she called me and she came over and she gave me a roll of tape. This one here, she helped me put them on the poles that's out. This was the original size of this one. This is what I have left on just LA 1 and 308. And we put about a yard, just to wrap the pole, to tell them where it is, with the address. And it's still some not lit.
So, Mr. B,
I
you're
went
not,
through
you're
the
not.
same, I went
rever-
through the
you're not-
same process.
Are they going through the
You're
hell?
not going through her?
I went through the same
And it's
process
still not lit, I called them too.
with even in.
And
that
this
first
little
day of
lady,
Transition, so they got a new person in place, so it took a little while. But once that person got established, they apologized for taking so long, but they fixed every
this
light
is
I had.
15 years these lights have been out.
They fixed every one I had. I had to go mark all my poles, just like you ain't mark all
that
yours.
lady, when that lady was with you marking them poles, they put the light long.
No,
But-
there's still some off. And this
They
is,
marked it up GPS.
she had a GPS with me.
Yeah.
They located them all, and then I found more. I'm still finding
So as our
Right
action
before
item,
last
you
was
want to send a
another
letter to
35.
Entergy to have them attend our next meeting
every
to
meeting.
discuss.
We used to have that. When I was a police juror, Mr. Smith used to come, and then Mr. Harris Shields. And
Yep.
all meetings. And we had any problems, the lights was fixed by the next meeting.
We have a motion by
Seven
Mr.
years
Bro
now,
to
you know how
request
much it
Entergy's
cost these
presence
lights?
at our next meeting and meetings following.
I wanted
but
to listen.
specifically at next meeting to discuss the lights out.
Each light.
Do I need a second?
Bro, say every
I'll
light.
make, I'll make a
No,
second.
I'm not finished.
I'll make a second, but also, Parish President, we need to get something established. All these amendments and add-ons and deviations, if it's not emergency, put it on the next agenda. It's just taking entirely too long. We've been saying this for
We did say
years.
this.
And we keep going away from it.
Do is vote nay.
Let me, look, yeah, just vote nay and then we don't hear it.
I'm not finished yet. They tell me it's $18 a month for a light. And like I told you, some's been out for at least 15 years. You know how much money we lost at $18? $3,240 for a light. And I suspect I have about 70 or so from this first row. Plus, I have another 50 or so the other night. That's what we're losing. For a light, for a year, is $216. And we talking about money, and we throwing it away. Let's go with it. But I'd like to have them at all meetings.
So motion by Mr. Rose, second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? I'm sorry, any public comment? Second call, last call, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned, Mr. Carter. Second by Mr. Palmer, all in favor?